I'm Sharoone Salaam. I'm the mother of Yusef Salaam. And in 1989, my life was altered and changed and put on a different path. And when we walked down that path in relations to the Central Park 5, many of us didn't know what we were doing as we walked. It was like you on the rope method. You're learning as you go. And I think back at it now and I say to myself, it must have been how those women and mothers on those slave ships felt when they were captured and put in those places and locked up and bounded, and they was wondering all the time, where is my daughter? Where is my son? Where is my husband? Where is my family? And you're lying there in those ships not knowing if your loved ones are alive or dead. That's how I felt that night. That's how I felt when I hurriedly went to the police station after being told that my son had been picked up by the police outside of our door. I was in the impression that my son had been kidnapped by the police, just like those people on the slave ships had been kidnapped from Africa. It's interesting how you feel when these things happen to you and how it makes you move forward in your life. As women, we never really think about motherhood. We just think about women for a long time. We pass a lot of mothers on the street. We don't really pay them that much attention. But one day, something happens and we become those people that we've been passing on the street. We become mothers. And we think of our families in a whole new light. Motherhood brings something new to the table that wasn't there before, even though we've seen it. We've lived it, but we didn't pay it any attention. I didn't pay it any attention either. Just like I didn't pay any attention to the prison industrial complex until it knocked on my door. And it's something when it knocks on your door, it gives you a whole new meaning as to what life is and what's important to you. And you put on a different kind of armor as you're walking forward, trying to make a change, make a saving, make hope, make happiness, and make people realize that who they think they have is not you. I remember when I arrived at the police precinct and there were friends of mine waiting for me outside. They had already been in. My cousin was there and a friend of a big brother who was there, and some other people were there who were shop stewards. And so they knew a little something because the big brother happened to be a DA out of Brooklyn that we had known for quite some time. He wasn't there to represent anybody, but he was there to observe and witness and help make sure we understood everything. Because when you have people with you, it changes the dynamics of how people view you and what they say to you in front of the people who you have with you. So I had all of these people with me. There were about 5 of us in tow. And we went into the police station. And when we walked in, I stopped and I said to the guy who was sitting at the desk right inside the vestibule, I'm Ms. Salaam. I'm Yusef Salaam's mother, and I want to see my son. And he said to me, the police officer, we have been waiting for you. And I continued walking in as that was the way he was pointed. I continued walking that way and people started walking towards me. And being a a daughter of the South, when they started walking toward me in that manner, I could feel the vibrations coming in my feet. I could feel it coming. And I said to myself, like so many years ago, we would ride down the roads in those towns where I was born in Saratoga, Alabama, down those dark, no light streets. And we'd hear the Klan was on the prowl, and we'd be looking for the Klan. And when they started walking to me, I felt like I was seeing the Klan for the first time, and they were there for me. They had stepped out from behind the trees. They didn't have on their white coats. They didn't have on the white mask, but they were there for me. And it put me in a new frame of reference in terms of how I was to proceed and what I was going to do, and the condition of my son. I wondered if he was alive, if he was dead, if somebody was beating him up somewhere. That's what I felt as a mother, and most mothers feel that way when they go into these unknown situations. Being a mother is not easy, let me tell you. And for those mothers who are in the room and soon to be mothers, the mothers in the room will tell you, you're going to have your highs and your lows, your ups and your downs, your twists and your turns. And for those who are going to walk on that path and join us in this great migration of motherhood, I want to offer you and say thank you, because we need you on the line. We need more children that look like us in our communities. We need children who don't look like us in our communities. We need mothers who can love these children and show them the way. We need your strength. We need your compassion. We need you, because it is you that will give us what we need and give the children the direction that they need to go in. But I have always said that a mother is only as strong as the father who stands beside her. But there are times when we have to mother alone. We have to be both mother and father. We have to pick up our mantle and walk strong in faith. And with some of us who are non-believers, we walk without faith. But we walk the story that's been given us, and we write our path. I know when I spoke to Zenobia and she told me, come and tell your story, I said, my story, you can't tell it in a few minutes, because this story has been going on, since 1989. And when you have a story that's going on that long, to squish it into a few minutes is not easy. But let me tell you, when I came home for that precinct and I didn't know what to do, there was a song I heard when I was walking on 125th Street in Harlem, New York City. And I felt it was a message from the Most High, the Almighty. And it said, one day at a time, because before that I had been balled up in a knot in my room, unable to move. But now I can move. I could do it one day at a time. And as I walked one day at a time, it gave me the strength to move through those other days. As I put one day in front, one day I lived, and the other day was gone. I didn't go back to try to live it again. I moved forward, and I tried to do whatever I could to fight for my son and to fight for the other children in my family, because when these things happen to you, your whole family can be torn asunder. And it doesn't take long to do that type of thing, because the enemies gather around you and they flock into your household with their energies, and they come to take the rest of the children you have in your house. And so you have one that they have and the other that you're fighting to keep and to make safe. It's unreal what they do to us and what they've done to me. Everybody out there won't have my story. Everybody won't have this kind of indignities that you go through, and the pain and the suffering. Because at that moment when this happened to me, I really knew how it felt to be on that slave ship. I really knew the sorrow and the pain that they get. I really knew because I was living it. And nobody, I could take it off of me, and I couldn't give it to nobody else and say, you take this burden. I'll do this part. All the parts were the parts that I had to live. Just like all of your parts are going to be the parts that you live. Our stories might be different in one turn, but they are still the same. We're all here mostly trying to make a way for our children. We are all here as mothers trying to help guide them so that they can be all they can be. And for all of us, I believe we want our children to do and be more than we were and we are. We want their house to be bigger. We want their yards to be more fuller than it was before. We want them to have what we didn't have. If we couldn't read, we want them to read. If we couldn't write, we want them to write. If we didn't have certain things, we want them to have it. Because that is our legacy for our children. Motherhood is a wonderful thing. And along with that wonder comes joy. Along with that wonder comes so many things that you can put your arms around. And thank God, thank God. And I thank God for sharing me his mercy when he showed me how I could make it one day at a time. And I've used that throughout this life to try to continue to walk in that path one day at a time. That's how you do it. That's how we all do it. And we keep thinking in our heads and we hold on to what we have been taught through our trainings of our mothers, of our grandmothers and our great-grandmothers. All of those people living in our bodies share joy, share our life, and they pass on their essence. Through them, we are. Through them, I am. Join us. We are one family, one people, one woman, one man, one mother. And it's the mother who is the one who is the mother of the world. No father can be that. Only the mother. Only the mother. And our uniqueness says that we are special. And we're always going to be special because without us, there is nothing. There is no one. We are everything. And for those men out there who are sitting and listening to this message, get used to it. We are everything. We're the beginning, we're the end, we're in the middle, and we prodding you along so that you can be what you can be too. But everything is going to be right. I remember my son when he was there, and I said, son, we're going to be working, we're fighting for you on the outside, but you have to do certain things to keep yourself in order because they're going to come after you. Because they have you now, they're going to come after you because they want to get to us. And as long as we're on the outside saying, my son is innocent, all these boys are innocent because he wasn't the only one that they took that day. He wasn't the only one. But only 5 were tried. 5 were tried for this horrific crime. Even today, we have people who continue the hoax of their guilt. But I wait and I wonder, when will God take them by the hand and show them that they are wrong? But sometimes you can't show people they are wrong because the devil has a hold to them. And no matter what you say or what you do, he doesn't let go. And so they walk with that wrongness everywhere they go. We are here and we stand by our children. We stand by our families because that's all we have. That's all we have. We raise these children. We train them to be whoever it is they are. And it's a reflection on us if they are unable or if they fall astray. Sometimes we say, well, where did I go wrong? Sometimes you went wrong, sometimes you didn't go wrong. But thank God, and thank God for Stockbridge, and thank God for having me here to speak for you today. Thank you.